We can't produce.
So water shortage in Cape Coast, Elmina, and others. We can't supply water. That says the Ghana Water Company Limited laments that galamsey activities pollute the river Pra.
And this morning on our hotline documentary, listen to what we're about to discuss.
Countries do. Water bodies are national security issues. They are national security zones. If Water Resources Commission do working in it, they are civilians, but it's under the Ministry of Defense. And let's test the resilience of our military and see whether that problem will not be resolved. As at now, yes, once in a while we bring them in to go on, but that's a flash, it goes off. But if you make it their responsibility and they cannot stop our water bodies to be polluted, how can they guarantee citizens that when there is an invasion of foreign forces, they will be able to stop them?
So water or treatment plant that is designed to abstract water without silt is now abstracting the water with silt. So you abstract the water, you have to, so if it is, let's say, a full container, half of it is already silt. So it means that after treatment, half of it is waste. So if you are expecting to get 10 buckets, you get 5 buckets. So if you produce in 24 hours, you should get 10 buckets in 24 hours. Now you are going to get 5 buckets in 24 hours. So definitely you will get less water to supply to the people. The pumps over there were supposed to last minimum 40 years. This is the third time in 12 years or so. I think about 14 years, 2008 to now, 14, 15 years, that we are changing it. So something that should last 40 years, 10 years is gone. So you can see what is happening now. So losing 70% of a lifetime of an equipment is not an easy thing. And these are very expensive pumps.
So the issue is a bit complicated. We have done the research. We know what is in the water. Heavy metals are there. Pesticides are there. Pharmaceuticals are there. Endocrine disruptors are there. So how do we get it out?
So that's the situation. Today, across the country, Raymond and George, water production at risk. In Cape Coast, you've had the supply challenges. But that's not even all. There are communities along these river bodies that are struggling. Fishermen can't even get fish. But for those who get the fish, the question is, the fish that we eat all the time, and we say, eat a lot more fish. Do we even know what's in it? Because there's evidence to show heavy metals in the food that we consume. Even the soil. I mean, what is wrong with us?
I was speaking to a gentleman, and I know those of you who are rich enough, you are afraid of buying water. 2 years ago, Statistical Service said most of you are relying on sachet water and other source of water.
Yeah.
So your main drinking one for the population greatly is sachet water. But now I know that you, the rich and powerful, you have moved away from even our local bottled water. You are buying Kirkland, which used to be sold at 80 cedi for the 40 bottles. Now it's almost 200 cedi for that 40 in a pack. Because you are afraid. Because these stories we say, even those who are supposed to fix it are finding solutions for themselves. But I keep asking myself, okay, they can buy your own water, but the fish, where are you getting it from? The other food that you think you are getting from the right restaurants, why are they importing it in the country for you? So we are all at a massive risk of something that perhaps when we say it, it's being made to look as if we are the only ones that care. They started this conversation about, it's an election year, that if you push galamsey matters, people will not vote for you. Then they will bring 2020 data to back it. But I'm asking, of the 17 or so million that are on our electoral register, that time we're told that galamsey, yes, even the highest number I can get will be 3 million in the country. Are they more than the rest of us? So the 14 million will sit down for their water to be polluted. Me, I'm not a direct or indirect beneficiary of galamsey. There are people who are. They and their friends who are getting all the money from it. Should we be appendages to their illegal activity? How do I benefit from it? How does it inure to my interest that I can't get water to drink from the usual sources? My food is going to be polluted. When I get all the kidney related problems, I will struggle. And again, if you are not in Accra and Kumasi, you are not part of the 90% of the population that actually gets kidney care. Yes.
You know.
I mean, see, you are at the greatest risk of your life because somebody you know is engaged in an activity. But, well, this morning, we'll still talk about it. The minister will sit in his office, maybe later on after pressure, will issue a statement that they are going around, they are going to do conference, they are going to do all the things, but nothing happens. But he will stay in office. He will be paid at the end of the month. He would actually be there and do all the things that's required of the ministry. There is also going to be a mining inspector for the areas you have mentioned, the Himan area and the other, who will be there, who will go to work tomorrow too. There is somebody in charge of a minerals commission in the Republic of Ghana. There are teams we have said, when we formed the committee for ministers, we downgraded the committee and brought it to a deputy ministerial committee. Even that, it didn't fix the problem. Because everybody knows that when you make it a political issue, nobody gets it fixed. So I insist that the rest of us who are also not beneficiaries, maybe we should also make it a political issue. That unless and until the time that you fix the problem, I'm not voting for you.
But Raymond, you made a very
unless that happens, there's no way we can deal with it. Because 3 million people cannot take the rest of us to ransom. They cannot make us feel like we are third-class citizens in our own country. Especially when you know that when you get into difficulties, if I have kidney problems, I'll be coming to beg you people. They say they will put out there that they should contribute to actually get me proper health care. But that should not be how any decent person lives their lives.
It is clear that for those in the political authority, they fail to deal with this problem. And it's a fact. And it might not be get fixed. I also asked myself that what about the local people in these areas? What are they also doing by sometimes even taking the law into their hands by you can do citizens arrest and all those things to ensure that these things are I'm saying that so it is clear, Sami, that for those who we have elected from the up end to even the local governance level have failed in dealing with this problem. It's a fact. But we live with these guys in our communities, and that's why I'm saying that if the political authorities have failed to deal with this problem, what about us as well?
They have bought and bribed a section, and this is about gold. We know how expensive gold is today. We know the price on the international market. If you allow people into these spaces, they will exploit everything to get the money. It's the reason why he doesn't care about jumping into that pit, because he knows the reward for it. But if he knew that he will be arrested immediately, he gets close to it. Those communities you are talking about, the women who are selling food to these people, they are also the ones who are giving birth to all the problematic children. They are also being affected in direct ways. But they also consider the immediate benefits far more important to them than our collective well-being. But we gave somebody the responsibility of taking care of our collective well-being.
Nobody can convince me that the very people who are tasked with ensuring this doesn't continue are not aware. If they were not beneficiaries, so why? If they're not beneficiaries of this, why are they not stopping it? So are you telling me that the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources goes on a Operation Halt?
Yeah.
We have gone to check river bodies.
They will launch it.
We'll launch this.
Deploy military.
We'll deploy military. And that's the end of it.
Yeah.
In any serious jurisdiction, the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources would have long resigned or would have been fired. Would have resigned or would have been fired. Look, even the military.
But don't protect even our forest. Just make sure this does not happen.
The military, those who went on the Operation Halt, they couldn't do anything. Some of them were accused by the people. The military would have started an investigation. Anybody found to have taken any money would have been court-martialed, sanctioned, and even the head of that team would have resigned because he feels that he did not let his people do the right thing. Why? The regional ministers and the DCEs and MCEs in these areas should have been long fired by the president. Today, even telecommunications. And I've had Ken Ashigbe consistently sending me messages to show that they've had to spend more, and sometimes the challenges we're going through is as a result of these illegal activities destroying cables.
Greco talked about the places they have to actually try and protect on their own because of the difficulties involved
Raymond,
in having their...
Listen to everybody talking about Chinese. I think I was at this event. I was emceeing this event where the Chinese... I was so ashamed. Listen to what he said.
Chinese people don't control your money. We are not the owners. Chinese people don't know where there is gold. If you don't issue visas to Chinese people cannot enter into your country. They don't know where is the money. They cannot able to enter your country. How could we be able to do galamsey in your country? Why? The question should be answered. That is the support of the local people.
And you heard him. They don't know where the gold is. Who takes them around the country? Who takes them round? And whose responsibility is it to ensure that these things don't happen? It's our responsibility.
The media coalition
Yes.
reported this Akunta mining or whatever related name to the CID. Up to today that we are speaking, nothing substantive has been done about that. This is police investigation. We were in this republic when the executive president went to tell everybody that, oh, they are no longer mining, i.e., they are no longer engaged in the illegal activity. The executive president, he's telling everybody that they are no longer engaging. But, so when people like that give those signals, do you think that anybody down there in that pit will be afraid of a single policeman coming there?
And Raymond, there should be a signaling effect that, you see, you may not be able to deal with maybe 1,000 or 2,000 persons engaged in this. You just need to get the scapegoats or the leaders of the financiers.
Yes.
We know it. They know the banks that finance them.
Yes.
I mean, indirectly, I don't evidence. We know those who are financing these things. We know, I mean, these tractors, they don't fly from the border to those places.
You know what, George?
Go after the kingpins. That is how you cut the flow.
Let's activate the phone lines. Let's hear from our listeners. Okay. On 0302 216 541 and 055 1111997. What else can we do to deal with this? And should we, going into election 2024, decide that the party that presents the best way of solving our illegal mining issues is the party that we're voting for? Let me hear of you this morning. 0302 216 541 and then 055 1111997. Let's hear of you here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. And I think we have our first caller on the line. Okay, we're going to get to our first caller shortly. Okay, we have Isaac on the line. Let's go onto the phone lines now and speak to Isaac. Isaac, good morning. Hello, good morning, Isaac.
Good morning, my neighbor, the ancestor.
Yes, Isaac James. Go ahead and make your point.
Brother. In fact, this is Sunday morning walk. I think you have to register me. Next week we go together. My brother, you see, when we went to the program at Labadi, I said something that we should, for us to solve this problem, small-scale mining should be stopped, should be halted for some time. Because, see, radical things really need radical solutions.
Okay.
If you are hungry, you can't say that because I'm hungry, I will kill my children to eat.
Thank you very much, Isaac James. But let's make it 30 seconds if you call us so that we can pick a lot more calls. Marion is at Legon. Marion, good morning.
Good morning. Am I calling into Joy FM, please?
You are on air, Marion. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much. This is the first time I'm calling. I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm a doctor. I just came back from going around the southern zone to do some work for malaria control.
Okay.
I have been angry but also very sad by what I saw as I drove along from Chifu Praso to Takwa, along, Amasia East, all the way to Western North, and then came down through Konongo to pay. I am shocked that the leaders of this country are allowing this to happen. And I think that civil society, we should get up and do something for ourselves, our future, and our children. So we are in for it, and please let us do this. Our leaders have failed us. There's nothing they're going to do. They are beneficiaries of this, and under their watch, this is only going to get worse. Good morning, and have a good day.
Thank you very much, Marion. Let's go to Latte, where Ishak is. Ishak, good morning.
Good morning, my brother. I hope we are all doing well.
God is taking care of us, but we're unhappy with the situation of illegal mining. Should we make... yes, go ahead.
I hear you people say that we know the people, we know the people, we know the people. I think the media is also supposed to help Ghana. If indeed we know the campaigns, why don't we just name them? We shouldn't wait for only government to come out and tell us that Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C are the people behind these things. Government is formed by the media, myself, and those in power. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Ishak. You can also join us 0302-216-541 and then 055-1111-997. Boy is at OEB. Boy, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, please. Share your thoughts with us.
Yes. I think that we have refused to be direct in our communications about the fight against galamsey. And as much as we acknowledge that there is no more any fight going on, as we see people openly mine in our community, we also know the people who are vested with power to ensure that this menace is ended. And yet our communication seems to be very discursive. We don't seem to blame the very people who have the power given to them by the state to ensure the security and the welfare of all of us. If we have a president, we have ministers of state, we have state agencies that have been given constitutional authority to ensure the welfare of people, failing to do their duties. Why are you blaming the rest of the citizens? I do not know why we cannot speak straight to power and stop all the discussions we have on radio.
Hello, yeah,
so
boy.
Hello,
boy. We have just this morning talked about the ministries tasked with this. We have asked the question and have actually indicated that these persons be held responsible. They have no business remaining in office. And we have actually continued and said even MMDCEs under whose watch this is happening, boy, should also be fired because they have failed in protecting the environment. We have said
I agree, but why are we afraid to mention names? Submit a petition, go on street protest to ensure that people who have duty to protect us and are failing are removed from office.
Boy, there is only one Minister of Lands and Natural Resources in this country. And so when we make reference to the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, we're just making reference to that man. But thank you very, very much for joining us this morning. We go to La, where Jones is. Jones, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. This is Jones Adoboy from La.
All right, Jones.
This issue is now getting very bad. And we have a president who has put his presidency on the line to fight galamsey. The same president went and defended Akonta mining and said Akonta mining is not doing galamsey. What else do you expect? If a president is able to stand on a platform and defend somebody who is destroying our forest today, you open the floodgate for all others. How can you go and prosecute others when you are defending one? The presidency has been compromised. So there is no way he can go and stamp his foot down and take care of these things. So the best thing for us Ghanaians to do is to vote them out.
Thank you very much, Jones from La. Let's go to Koforidia. Salif, good morning.
Good morning, Wilson. How are you?
We could be better.
Yeah, I thank you that the media is holding our government accountable. But Wilson, as we hold government, let's hold our chiefs. The National House of Chiefs, the media should be on them. They are in the areas where this galamsey is going on. Are they saying they don't know where the galamsey is going on their land? If I come to sell their land over there, will they just leave me? Listen, let's hold them. Let's hold the National House of Chiefs. They are ashamed of themselves. Asantehene to everybody. They should be ashamed that these things is going on. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Salif. Asantehene just stood 3 chiefs for the engagement in galamsey. But let's go to Goss. So, Adam, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, Adam.
Yes, it is a privilege for me to call the Super Ministry. I first of all like to say that every DC, every municipal or district police commander every party chairman within the district that Galamsey is aware of it. I am calling from a region where Galamsey is being done heavily. And I can tell you for a fact that if you go to this Galamsey site of peace, there are people who take money on behalf of the DC in the name of protecting money. It's a fact, except you decide not to pay. That's the truth. That there are party executives, be it the regional or constituency executives, whom these guarantors give money to for protection. And so it would be disingenuous on our part, particularly for those of us who are in Galamsey region, when we hear that there seems to be the perception that we don't know those involved. I beg, you people have the influence and power more than those of us down here. I beg, come down here, interview people, do the another kind of video evidence, and you confirm what I'm saying. Even those of us here are suffering. The cost of food is high because there's a perception that there's money in the goods. In fact, the financiers of this so-called Galamseyers are party executives.
All right, thank you very much, Adam from Go. So we go to East Legon where Nana is, and that'll be our final caller for now. Nana, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yes. Nana, kindly speak up a bit for us.
Is it better now? The head has taken a trickle down. This is what we get if you keep recycling the two mistakes in this country. So we should suffer in peace. We are part of the problem.
Nana, can you kindly speak up? We can hardly hear you. Well, I think we've lost Nana, and that's all for this morning. We'll come back to it later on. We'll activate the phone lines again so you could also get in touch with us and share your thoughts on all of this.